Bet horse racing on DRF Bets. We'll match your first deposit of $200. Get free expert picks and past performances, plus weekly cash back. All from Daily Racing Form, the most trusted name in horse racing.
The second graded stakes race on Saturday at Santa Anita is the Grade 2 Twilight Derby. 3-year-olds at 1 1/8 on grass. And this is, I hate to say it, but it's kind of a blah race. The 3-year-old grass horses out in California are not that great. Del Mar Derby winner Slow Down Andy has been pre-entered in Breeders' Cup races. Del Mar Derby runner-up Spycatcher, a maiden, looks like he may have missed a little bit of time. He didn't have any workouts from September 30th to October 16th. His status is uncertain right now. That leaves the Del Mar Derby third place finisher War at Sea as one of the favorites in the Twilight Derby. Not a stellar group of locals, I might say. Oh, I should also mention the Balnikov, one of the top 3-year-old grass horses in California. He is pointing for a 1 mile grass stake in Kentucky with a much bigger purse. So Slow Down Andy, Balnikov, they're both in Kentucky. Spycatcher, a maiden, don't know exactly what his status is. And we are left with a kind of a nondescript field of 9. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup. It's race number 7, 1 1/8 on grass, 3-year-olds. And favoritism, I don't know, it could be War at Sea. It might be Cabo Spirit. It could even be the horse that I picked on top. You wouldn't normally say that a horse shipping from Hawthorne to Santa Anita is taking a class drop. But in this case, in this race, there are a couple of strange class moves that may qualify as a class drop, even though you wouldn't think so. Hawthorne to Santa Anita, a drop in class? Maybe, for Speaking Scout. How about One Other Than into Grade 2? That's a class drop? Yeah, it could be for number 3, Perfect Flight, because he won a One Other Than against Older, and now he's going into an age-restricted stake on Saturday. Okay, let's talk about the horse that I like the best, and that would be Speaking Scout. I said that the local 3-year-old grass horses are not that great. So what's so great about Speaking Scout? Well, he is pretty good. At least he is right now, and he was at Hawthorne last time out. And we're going to roll the tape of the Hawthorne Derby in early October at where else? Hawthorne, and watch Speaking Scout cut the corner. Okay, yes, an all-time perfect trip. Saving ground, the Red Sea opened up, and Speaking Scout was able to squeeze through. And in the final 8, it was an impressive kind of burst of late speed. He won by 5 lengths. You don't normally see a grass stake race won by this margin. And look at, he has something left under the wire. Speaking Scout did. Shipping into California in peak form, facing a relatively modest group. And I think it's significant that one of the top jockeys in California, Juan Hernandez, has taken the call on Speaking Scout for trainer ground motion. I think if Speaking Scout brings that Hawthorne form to Santa Anita, I think he can win the Twilight Derby. Will he get another perfect trip like he got at Hawthorne? Who knows? But it's the perfect spot for another stakes win for Speaking Scout. Okay, that's the Hawthorne to Santa Anita class dropper. How about this one? One Other Than into Grade 2, a class drop. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? But it might actually be the case for number 3, Perfect Flight. And while we roll the tape of his most recent One Other Than allowance win, I'll explain why. Perfect Flight in the pink Gary Barber silks is facing older horses in this One Other Than. Not just older horses, but good older horses. He shakes off a pace rival and holds off a closer late. Perfect Flight back in top form for trainer Peter Miller. And now he goes from a One Other Than against Older into an age-restricted Grade 2. He only faces 3-year-olds on Saturday in the Twilight Derby. Furthermore, this race came up exceptionally short on pace. We talked about how the Goldakova came up short on speed. So did this race. So did the Twilight Derby. Number 2, Go Joe Wan, is definitely quick. He has speed, but the only other horse that has real speed is Perfect Flight, just to his outside. So I believe that Ramon Vasquez, riding Perfect Flight, has the option of either going to the lead or sitting second. Either way, he will be in a perfect spot to make his move at the top of the lane. Can he handle grass? Well, he handled grass just fine this summer at Del Mar when he finished second in the Grade 3 La Jolla. So we have the Hawthorne to Santa Anita dropper, the one other than to Grade 2 dropper. I know it sounds like a contradiction of terms. Let's now talk about the horse that's probably going to get a whole lot of play, and his name is War at Sea. War at Sea finished third in the Del Mar Derby behind Slow Down Andy and the maiden Spycatcher. And as we roll the tape of the stretch run of the Del Mar Derby, I'll talk a little bit about War at Sea. That's him down on the inside, Slow Down Andy on the lead. That's the maiden Spycatcher 3 wide, and War at Sea trying to squeeze through, maybe a little bit intimidated, but he couldn't even get by that maiden who finished second. He ran okay, War at Sea did, but he ran okay in a race that unfolded perfectly for his style. Slow Down Andy raced gate to wire. Spycatcher chased him from second all the way around, and War at Sea, he was positioned no farther back than he was fourth and or third. It was a weird race because there was very little positional change. War at Sea basically ran in place the entire race. Now, I will say this about War at Sea. You can tell that I really don't like him that much, right? It's true. I don't. I picked him third. But he was making his first start in 3 months. He had a summertime setback. I think he was expected to go in one of the earlier grass races, either the Oceanside or the La Jolla, but he had a minor setback. It turned out to be minor in summer at Del Mar, and he was forced to go into the Del Mar Derby off a 3-month layoff. So you have to give him some credit. And I don't want to be too harsh on him as the third preference, but he was making his first start in 3 months in the Del Mar Derby, and he only got beat, a length or so? War at Sea, he got beat exactly 1 length. So he has a license to improve off that comeback race. But when all is said and done, I'm going to take a stand against the local grass horses, or the ones that came out of the Del Mar Derby, including War at Sea. I like the shipper from Hawthorne. I respect the one other than allowance winner, Perfect Flight. And Speaking Scout and or Perfect Flight can potentially upset potential favorite War at Sea. That's a look at the Grade 2 Twilight Derby. It's race 7 Saturday at Santa Anita.